G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, former Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd is named in the Epstein files recently released by the United States government. And why that matters is part of an ongoing investigation by me, where Kevin Rudd has been running a cover-up campaign trying to conceal the truth about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, if the new information is true and Kevin Rudd had dinner at Jeffrey Epstein's house in New York, well, that means Kevin Rudd has been lying for years about never meeting Jeffrey Epstein. And one lie by itself doesn't matter so much, but when there's a whole litany of lies by Kevin Rudd, well, it's starting to add up and you have to ask why so many lies. Now, I've just published an article and it's titled Former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd visited Jeffrey Epstein's home for a cocktail party, documents released by the US government show. And I published an article on Sunday the 16th of November 2025 and it starts off, Kevin Rudd, former Australian Prime Minister, visited global pedophile Jeffrey Epstein at his New York home for a small cocktail party in the dining room in September 2014, documents released by the US government show. The cocktail party in 2014 contradicts Rudd's claim in 2020 that his only contact with Epstein was he had been on a teleconference call, also attended by Epstein in 2014, and attended an event while an MP in 2013 in New York, where Epstein was also invited, but has no recollection whatsoever of ever meeting the deceased financier. You don't forget and have no recollection whatsoever of meeting someone if you visited their house for a small cocktail party in the dining room. I wonder whether the event was in New York that Rudd said he attended in 2013 and that Epstein was also invited. Epstein's house? ? How did Rudd know Epstein was also invited? ? Rudd was clearly lying, and it explains why Rudd has been in full cover-up mode over the last couple of months regarding my reporting on his links with Epstein, and the newly released emails show why. But more on that in a minute. The 2014 cocktail party shows up in the 20,000 recently released documents by the US government. True News Weekly publisher Serkan broke the story about the cocktail party document on the 15th of November 2025 on X, formerly Twitter. One email, which is reportedly Epstein sending an email to himself, says, that evening there is a small cocktail party, which includes the former Prime Minister of Australia, Kevin Rudd, and Thorbjørn Jagland, the head of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, who offers an affable but general scathing critique of the US diplomacy in a brief defence of Obama's Peace Prize award, and to whom Epstein offers a ride back to Europe on his jet. Norwegian newspaper, Dagbladet, has the same section starting off differently, and it says, that evening, in Epstein's dining room, he seems to rarely use the rest of the house's 4,500 square metres. A small cocktail party is held. Among the guests are former Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. I'm told the above two quotes are from the draft of an article for the New York magazine that was not published, and the draft was fact-checked by Alex Yablon as per below. An email in 2015 is Jeffrey Epstein forwarding an email to journalist Michael Wolff he received from journalist Alex Yablon, who was fact-checking an article for the New York magazine. The start of the email is in the article, and I'll read it out. Tuesday, March 31, 2015, at 3:32 p.m. Forward, fact-checking questions for New York magazine story. It's from Jeffrey Epstein to Michael Wolff, and it says NFW. I assume that means no fucking way, which means he doesn't want to answer the questions. And the original email is from Alex Yablon to Jeffrey Epstein, and that was sent on Tuesday the 31st of March 2015 at 11:23am. And the email says, Hi Jeffrey, sorry for the phone tag. In case it's easier to respond by email, I've put my questions below. I'm at my desk and should be there until 5 and should be free on my cell phone after 6:30. Best, Alex. I've just copied a couple of questions and my article goes on to say, it says at the bottom of page 2 of the email, week in late September, did you host a Sunday night discussion with Bill Gates, Mort Zuckerman and Peter Thiel? Given the above fact-checking email was sent in March 2015, it must mean September referred to was in 2014. On page 3 it says, the morning after the Qataris came over, did you have a 9am breakfast with attorney Reid Weingarten? A bit later on page 3 it says, that evening, did you host Australian PM Kevin Rudd and Thorbjørn Jagland for a cocktail party? Did Jagland critique the US foreign policy? ? Did you offer to fly him back to Europe on your jet? ? Alex Yablon has recently retweeted the above fact-checking. Kevin Rudd trying to hide the cocktail party helps explain why he's been lying and deceiving about what really happened with his dealings with Jeffrey Epstein, his attacks on me via Jordan Shanks, and his frivolous defamation complaint to YouTube to hide one of my videos exposing Rudd's lies. Given it is well known that Epstein often had underage girls at his social events, maybe Rudd can confirm if underage girls were at the cocktail party, and if that is why Rudd lied about never meeting Jeffrey Epstein. It must be remembered that Kevin Rudd doesn't mind perving on young naked women, as he is well known to have attended a strip joint in 2003 in New York while representing Australia at the United Nations. But it's one thing to go to a strip joint. It's a whole new ballgame going to a convicted pedophile's house for a cocktail party that almost certainly had underage girls mixing with the so-called guests. Kevin Rudd's history with Jeffrey Epstein. I published an article on the 21st of September 2025 titled Jeffrey Epstein's Connection to US Ambassador Kevin Rudd and the cover-up with his sugar baby Jordan Shanks, which starts off, former Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd was chairman of the International Peace Institute, IPI, which received over $650,000 between 2011 and 2019 in donations from Jeffrey Epstein, who ran a global pedophile ring. And the $650,000 in donations to the IPI from Jeffrey Epstein was exposed in 2019, Kevin Rudd made no public statement for a year until the IPI CEO, Terje Rod-Larsen, was exposed for owing Jeffrey Epstein $130,000 for some unknown reason. Kevin Rudd's reputation was trash when he did finally front the media, as he ducked and weaved in media interviews. As you'll see below, Rudd's big mistake was to blame Rupert Murdoch and News Corp when Murdoch had nothing to do with the story. Kevin Rudd, with nowhere to turn in Australia's old media, paid YouTuber Jordan Shanks, aka Friendly Geordies, to run several interviews with Rudd to try and rehabilitate Rudd's reputation, and at least in part, to also cover up the Epstein connection. I published a video version of the article, Jeffrey Epstein's connection to US Ambassador Kevin Rudd and the cover-up with his sugar baby Jordan Shanks, on the Kangaroo Court of Australia YouTube channel. And Kevin Rudd made a frivolous defamation complaint to YouTube, and it was blocked for Australian viewers. And I've got that video embedded in the article. My article goes on to say, I then published an article on the 25th of September titled, Kevin Rudd files defamation complaint over YouTube video linking him to Jeffrey Epstein. I published a video version of the article on the Kangaroo Court of Australia YouTube channel, and once again Kevin Rudd made a frivolous defamation complaint to YouTube, and it was blocked for Australian viewers. I emailed Kevin Rudd questions on the 24th of September 2025 about the defamation complaint, but he failed to respond, so I haven't bothered emailing him questions this time. Kevin Rudd had a legitimate defamation claim. He should have contacted me directly or via a lawyer with a concerns notice, and neither has happened. I sent a message on X on the 14th of November 2025 to Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and said, Dear Prime Minister Albanese, did you ask Rudd about his Epstein connection lies before you appointed him ambassador to the US? My article goes on to say, Kevin Rudd needs to front the media in Australia and answer every question about why he has lied, deceived and defamed people trying to hide his true relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And Prime Minister Anthony Albanese needs to make him do it if Rudd won't. The big problem for Kevin Rudd is when all the Epstein files are released, the truth about what he did know will likely be revealed. And that could be a huge problem for Rudd, and he knows it. Now, I have a message at the end of the article, and it says, Admin, I'm an independent journalist and 100% crowdfunded by readers like you. I need about another 200 monthly supporters to be financially viable. Most independent journalists are small business owners or sole traders and are struggling at the moment, just like many small businesses. If you could afford a small amount from $3 to $100 a month or whatever suits your budget, it would be greatly appreciated. You're not locked in and you can cancel at any time, and helps me to continue as a going concern so I can continue to publish the articles and videos I have over the last 15 years. And the donation page has all the donation options. Please do your bit and help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media. And please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button. That way you get notified when I publish new videos. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.